Yeah, let's jump into the quarterback position for week 15. We have nobody on bye, so who's your top five?
Pretty straightforward top five. I got Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, and Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I like that. I have the same guys, a little different order. I got Hurts, Allen, Mahomes 3,
Uh,
Burrow 4, Herbert 5.
so Hurts number one, if I
Oh
understood
yeah.
correctly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Chicago's defense is
Yeah.
literally the worst defense in the league. So
Yeah.
I have him about .9 above Allen and it's about the same above Mahomes. Those two are pretty close. But yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna knock him out of one. I have him about 247 passing yards, 51 rushing yards, about 1.4 passing touchdowns, and zero point 0.7 rushing. So about 2.1 total touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue against Jalen Hurts number one, but it does seem like they want to limit his rushing. They're running away with the NFC, so wouldn't be surprised if we see him with more games with less than 10 carries. Last week he only had 7, week before only 5. So that's the only reason he's not number one for me right now.
Yeah, I mean, that Chicago D, bro. I think it's
Yeah, no,
actually 32nd now in DVOA. Period. Yeah.
right. Well, we might see some Gardner Minshew then.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I'll probably project him for like
Yeah.
half an attempt or something. That still won't not hurt out of first. But who are you high on?
I'm actually high on Deshaun Watson this week. He's my QB 11. I think the ECR is like something like QB 17 right now, which doesn't make sense. It is a tougher matchup against the Ravens, but Watson started to look a lot better last week. Donovan Peoples-Jones had his career best game, so I think we all knew that Watson would probably unlock his upside. And Amari Cooper was limited last week with a hip injury, so I'm assuming he's going to be healthier this week. So that can only help. It was also the first game having David Njoku at his disposal. He had a great game, ran a route on over 90% of his dropback. So liking what I saw with this offense with Watson, I figured he would need a couple weeks to shake off the rust. So, he ran for 33 yards. I think you said he's probably going to lean on his rushing ability a bit more. So yeah, he's up there. He's a low end QB1 for me. So I'm not sure why the ECR is so low on him. Might be the matchup, but again, I think he can overcome a tougher matchup right now since he's playing well.
It's probably just the hate that people have for Deshaun Watson.
Well, probably. Fair enough.
Gotta factor that in. No, Watson, I'm above consensus. I'm at QB 15, so I'm not as high as you, but I am above consensus. I do have Brissett getting like one attempt just because they tend to bring him in for no reason each game. But I do have a lot of respect for that Baltimore D, man. Like that Baltimore D is they were just messing with Trubisky last game. I think every linebacker got a pick, so I'm a little bit scared of that Baltimore defense, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, if he throws picks or things like that happen, just gonna turn it into more pass heavy game plan. So it's kind of part of that. But yeah, Trubisky still ended up throwing for 276 yards despite 3 picks. But either way.
I am high on Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
Yeah, I have him at QB 13. He is the QB 19 in consensus. And as long as he's starting, and every game could be like his last game. Like we don't know. So I think he's gonna come out gunning. And remember, he should get his full receiving core healthy for this one. You're gonna have Watson and Lazard, obviously, but Dobbs will probably be back. I think he practiced a little bit before the bye, but they held him out. And then you'll still have Watson, you'll still have Teray, Cobb in the slot. And so everyone's healthy for Green Bay here. This Rams defense it's not terrible, but it's just not great. They play soft zone. It's just one of those defenses that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to attack because he's going to get the ball out. They're going to play soft zone. He's going to know where to go in coverage each snap. He's going to read the defense pre-snap. So I actually think Aaron Rodgers can be pretty efficient in this game. And the Rams' run defense is still better than their pass defense. So I don't think Green Bay is going to come out super run heavy in this game. They are a favorite, so it could get, the game script could go that way. But I'm at about 6 spots higher than consensus on Rodgers. I'm about 1.8 touchdowns, which is higher than I've had him most of the year.
Yeah, I didn't realize I'm above consensus as well. Maybe the first time all season at QB 17. But I think a lot of that is Christian Watson. Anytime he completes a pass to him, it could go for a touchdown from anywhere on the field. So I think that helps elevate Rodgers in the meantime. And Aaron Jones, he was banged up heading into the bye, so he should be healthy. So just having him closer to 100% will only help Rodgers as well.
Yeah, it should be a good spot for the Green Bay offense here.
Yeah.
Who are you low on?
So I'm low on Tua this week. You might be shocked by this, but I'm my QB 22 right now.
Jesus.
Yeah. So as you saw in person, maybe defenses are starting to figure him out or the scheme out and trying to take away the middle of the field. And Mike McDaniel, Tua are going to have to make adjustments. So this could be a tough spot against the Bills, who probably saw this on film, should be able to take away the middle of the field. But more importantly, and also, the Dolphins offense was horrible outside of two huge plays by Tyreek Hill. But also the reason I'm so low on this is this game could see a ton of snow. So once again, I'm getting ahead of the weather report here. The total is only like at 41.5. Normally I'd project these two teams to be closer to 50. So it looks like, the market is already factoring enough snow at least to impact this game significantly. The Dolphins team total right now is right around 17.5. So again, this kind of goes back to what I was saying against the 49ers, just a lower team total like that. Tua might be able to get there with yards, but it's really hard to project him for more than one passing touchdown right now. So a lot of reasons to not like him this week, unless they end up moving this game into a dome. Then he'll get moved back up in my top 12. But for now, it looks like he's going to be dealing with the elements, which is probably not ideal for a warm weather team like the Dolphins anyway. But right now, if you have him, you should start making plans for someone else this week.
Yeah, I have him QB 13. He's QB 9 consensus, so I'm lower too. But yeah, I'm not all the way down at 22 yet. I haven't fully adjusted for the snow. I do have the both teams projected points pretty low too, but I have teams probably will run a little bit more if it snows. So I haven't adjusted for that yet, so he probably will drop. But yeah, I saw him in person. I mean, it was just bizarre. He could not throw an accurate pass. It was just every time he was throwing a ball to a spot that the receiver was not. It was the darndest thing. He looks kind of rattled. Obviously the all line is starting to give up a lot of pressure, and I think that's part of it. But it's still bizarre because earlier in the year he was like the best quarterback in the league under pressure. So I don't he might. I don't know if he's hurt. I know he was on the injury report with an ankle, or if he's rattled off that San Fran game or what. But he did not look right, and I watched him for 3 hours. It just didn't look right. So
well, you got to see Tyreek Hill. I'm jealous of that.
Oh yeah,
you got to see Tyreek Hill and Baker Mayfield in the same week.
Oh yeah, never again. It just yeah. I am low on Mike White this week. Yeah, so he's QB 13 consensus, and he's been playing well, and they love him. But this is an outdoor game. Detroit's defense has really gotten a lot better from earlier in the year. They were I think the bottom ranked pass defense, and now a month and a half later, they're up to 19th. So they're more so an average matchup. And then Mike White, I don't know if he's fully healthy. He's a big in-game injury risk. So I have him at QB 19. He's QB 13 in consensus. I have him for about 250 yards. I would play him in some DFS tournaments or something like that, but I just don't think you want to start him in a one quarterback league. That I think that's a little much at this point with Mike White. So low on White this week for me.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And yeah, even if he does suit up, I guess he would be at risk of an in-game injury. I mean, that was a brutal hit he took. And I have him QB 14, but I get your point. It is really close for me in that range. But in DFS, he is extremely cheap. So I still think he's a good play in tournaments, even though, like you said, the Lions defense has been a lot better, but they are still vulnerable through the air. So It could be a bounce back game for White, but yeah, I agree. In one QB leagues, your standard 12-team league, he's probably a sit this week.
And don't forget, the Lions blitz more than pretty much anybody, so they're gonna. Like, I think if he does start as expected,
yeah,
they'll probably try to get the ball out quick, run the ball more, because you can't get this dude hit again. Like, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I just think there's some red flags there. Love the player though. All right, what are we doing for the prop?
Let's go with Trevor Lawrence passing yards.
Oh God.
Against the Cowboys. This always sets the tone for our Jaguars projections. I got a lot of guys that I like this week on the Jaguars, but it's a tough matchup. So I have his prop at, man, this is a tough one. I'm going to set it at 252.5.
I'll go under. I have it in the high 230s. So
I thought I was a bit higher.
Yeah, I mean, you could get into that position where they're down and they have to throw a lot, but I think that Cowboys defense is really good. I mean, we've seen them run some teams out of the table, out of the arena, and then now it's like they'll probably rebound coming off this weird game against Houston. So I don't want any part of the Cowboys, but I don't like Trevor Lawrence is so hard.
I know, that's why I want to throw this prop out there.
But I think he's averaging around 247, right? So yeah, I'd still go under either way. But
he's usually not average. Yeah, he's usually in the high 100s or the high 300s right now. Like he's rarely actually around his median. But that's why I wanted to get this projection out there. Convinced me he was the guy that we chose to drop out 3. So of course he had a career game. It looked like the toe wasn't really an issue at all. So yeah, like I just threw it out there. I didn't care what you picked because this is probably his median, and it won't be anywhere near this. But they have a lot of fantasy assets on that offense now, though, with Evan Ingram having a big week, who we will talk about later, of course.
Yeah. I'm just, if I'm gonna pick a quarterback to go over and under his median versus the Cowboys defense, I'm gonna
really
go under.